Neville Goddard said, "Your imagination creates your reality." And that's a nice theory, but does it actually work in real life? I'd been asking myself the same thing, so I decided to test it. I started doing exactly what Neville taught, SATs and living in the end, every single day. And once I got consistent with it, my outer life actually started to match what I was seeing or feeling inside. I quit my job because my own business started taking off. I moved into a new apartment that felt like me, and I built a real close group of friends in a city where at first I almost knew no one. So in this video, I want to talk to you not as a Neville Goddard guru, and not as someone who wants you to just believe, but as someone who actually tested this and watched things shift. Because I get where you're coming from. You've probably seen law of attraction videos, and maybe you even tried affirmations or vision boards or acting as if. Maybe you got a tiny result here and there, but nothing big. Or maybe nothing changed at all, and you just felt silly. You hear people say, just think positive, just raise your vibration. And deep down you're like, yeah, but I still have bills. I still feel alone. And I still wake up every single day and my life looks exactly the same. You don't want more nice quotes. You want to know, if I do this, will anything actually change for me? Or am I wasting my time? I know this because I felt the same way. I was not born into this manifesting world. I wasn't sitting around meditating with crystals. I was just someone who wanted my life to feel better, to feel more like mine. New city, almost no friends, a job that did not light me up. Dreams on paper, but not in real life. So when I found Neville, I was not like, yes, I believe, right away. I was more like, okay, this sounds interesting, but if this is real, I should be able to test it. That's the frame I want you to have in this video. Not blind belief, just curiosity and a simple test. So let's make this super simple. Neville's main idea is this. Your outer life is a reflection of your inner state. Your state is the mix of your beliefs, feelings, and assumptions. You can change your state on purpose, mainly through imagination and feeling. If you hold a new state long enough, your outer life reorganizes to match it. He was not saying, just think a happy thought and the universe will drop a car on your head. He was saying this. You are always imagining something about yourself. That quiet story you run in your mind all day is what keeps showing up in your world. Most of us do this unconsciously. We imagine, I never meet the right people. Money is always tight. Things never work out for me. We don't call that imagination. We call it being realistic. Neville would say, no, that's imagination too. It's just imagination used in a negative way. So his method is very direct. Decide what you want. Not 100 things, but one clear thing. Imagine a short scene that would be true if you already had it. Not the whole movie, just a short clip. Enter that scene in your mind, especially when you're sleepy. This is SATs, state akin to sleep. And feel it as if it's happening now. Live your day from that new end result. This is living in the end, meaning you walk, talk, and react like the person who already has the thing, instead of the person who's still lacking it. He claimed that if you do this and you stay loyal to that inner reality, your outer world must eventually catch up. Now, that all sounds nice, but I know what you're thinking. Okay, but did it actually work for you? Like in real, boring, everyday life? That's what I want to show you now. And trust me, you're going to be mind blown by the end of this. Before I started using Neville's methods, here's what my life looked like. I had moved to a new city, and if you've ever done that, you know how weird it feels. Everyone else already has their group. They have their friends, their routines. You're just the new person. I had a job. It wasn't the worst job in the world, but I didn't feel alive in it. I knew I wanted something more, especially my own business, but that felt far away, almost not for me. I would go to work, come home tired, scroll my phone, maybe watch something and think, one day I'll fix this. One day. That one day feeling is its own kind of prison. My assumptions back then sounded like, it's hard to make friends here. I don't have time or energy to grow a business. I'm stuck in this job until something magical happens. I didn't say those sentences out loud, but they were the quiet story in my head. That was the state I was living from. Then, when I first read Neville, the idea that hit me hardest was, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and live in the end. So I said to myself, okay, if this is real, I should be able to change at least one area. Let me treat this like an experiment. The two big areas I wanted to change were work and money. I wanted my business to work so I could quit my job. My social life, I wanted real friends in this new city, not just people I kind of knew. So I picked one thing to start with, my business and work life. I asked, if my business was already doing well, if I already worked for myself, what is a simple scene that would be true? Not, I'm on a yacht or I'm Amsterdam, a millionaire. That felt fake to me at the time. I picked something small but powerful. Me checking my phone or my laptop and seeing sales or clients booked. Me saying to a close friend, I finally quit my job, the business is working. That's it, simple and normal. And by the way, here's how I actually used SATs. Every night when I got into bed, right when I was getting sleepy but before I fell fully asleep, I would close my eyes and replay that one small scene. For example, I would imagine holding my phone, seeing messages from new clients, feeling that little burst of, oh wow, it's working. Or I'd imagine a friend hugging me saying, I'm so proud of you for quitting your job, you really did it. The key is, I kept the scene short, simple, and repeatable. I didn't try to force big emotions. I just let myself feel a gentle, calm, yes, this is done, this is normal. Some nights my mind wandered, and some nights I even fell asleep in the middle of the scene, but that's okay. It's actually a part of it. SATs works well when you drift into sleep while feeling like your wish is already done. I did this almost every night, and during the day, I started asking myself, if I had already quit my job, if my business was already doing well, how would I carry myself today? Would I walk a bit lighter? Would I show up differently online? Would I take that one scary action? That was me trying to live in the end, even though my 3D reality had not changed yet. Now, this is important. Things did not flip in one day. What changed first was not the outside world. It was how I felt on the inside. Within a couple of weeks of doing SATs at night and living in the end in the day, I noticed my old story of I'm stuck got a bit weaker. I started having ideas for my business that felt fun, not heavy. I felt more like someone who was on their way out of the 9 to 5, even though I was still in it. Because I felt a little different, I took different actions. I made offers I was scared to make before. Neville would call this bridge of incidents, a chain of events that leads you from where you are to where you're going. To me, it just felt like, I'm finally moving. Then small outer things started to happen. A client reached out who I thought had forgotten me. Someone I didn't know before found me and booked. Money started coming in a bit more often. Nothing crazy yet, but enough for me to think, okay, something's different. This is my first big point to you. You usually feel the shift inside before you see the big changes outside. But that inner shift is not nothing. It is the start of the new state taking over. As I kept going with SATs and with this new, I already work for myself state, the business kept growing. I was still at my job, but my business income was getting closer to my job income. I changed my inner scene a little. Now I would imagine me handing in my resignation, me waking up on a Monday, realizing I don't have to go to the job, me sitting at my desk at home, working on my own business in peace. Again, simple scenes. Then came a month where my business income matched my job income. The old me would have been like, yeah, but what if next month is worse? Better stay safe. The living in the end me thought, if it's already done in my inner world, if I really am the person who runs their own successful business, then at some point, I have to move like that person. So after some thought, and yes, real-world planning, I quit. I did not quit on day one of Neville. This was a process. But I can look back and see it started with those simple scenes in SATs and with the new state I held. And once I stepped out, opportunities that I could not see before started to show up. More clients, better ideas, more energy, because I wasn't drained by my job. Was it all Neville? You can say, it was just you doing the work. But I know this. Before I changed my inner state, I didn't even see these actions as possible. After I changed my inner state, they felt natural. That's exactly what Neville talks about. Let's talk about the other big part, my social life and my home. When I first came to this city, I felt very alone. Everyone seemed to already have their group. I didn't know where I fit. I'd go home and think, maybe I'm just not going to have real friends here. That was a state too. A lonely in a new city state. Once I saw how well Neville's method worked with my work life, I decided to test it on this area too. Again, I asked, if I already had a warm, fun, close friend group here, what scene would be true? The scene I picked. Me sitting in my new apartment with friends around the table, laughing. Or me looking at my phone and seeing a group chat full of messages. Let's meet here. Let's hang out tonight. Notice something. In my mind, I was already in a new apartment too, not the one I was in at that time. So in one short scene, I was including new friends, new apartment, a feeling of, I belong here. Every night, same thing. I'd put myself into that scene in my imagination, not as a watcher, but as if I was there. Feeling the couch, hearing people laugh, seeing the faces of friends, even if they were a bit blurry at first. During the day, I asked, how does someone act who already has friends and feels at home here? Well, they probably say yes to invitations more, start conversations without overthinking, join events or groups without that heavy fear. So I started doing those things. Not from a place of, I'm desperate to find friends, but from, I already belong here, and my people are just showing up now. Slowly, things changed. I met one person I clicked with. Through them, I met more. I joined spaces where the kind of people I like already hang out. And at the same time, a chance came up to move into a new apartment that actually felt like my place. Again, you can call that luck. But to me, it felt like the outer world was finally catching up to the inner world I had been building. I went from new city, no friends, just getting by apartment to my own business, a home I love, and a real group of friends I can call when something good or bad happens. And I can trace a clear line back to when I started doing SATs and living in the end. Now you might be thinking, I've tried visualizing before. I've tried feeling it real. Nothing changed. What then? This is where a very common mistake comes in. Most people do Neville's methods from the state of not having. They close their eyes, they try to imagine the thing, but inside they're thinking, please let this work. I hope this changes something. One day, maybe I'll have it. That inner one-day feeling is still the state of lack. Neville's whole point is, you must move in imagination to the end where it's already done, and rest there. Not as maybe, but as, of course, this is mine, this is normal. If you've been doing it like begging or wishing, that's not really what Neville is teaching. The fix is simple, but it takes practice. Shorten the scene, relax your body, and let the feeling be calm and normal, not needy and desperate. And actually knowing what I'm about to tell you helps a lot, so listen closely. This is not always instant. Some things move fast, some take time. But you'll often feel an inner shift very, very soon. And you still need to take action. Neville never said, lie in bed all day. The new state will move you to new actions that feel natural, not forced. Don't keep checking the 3D every 5 minutes to see if it worked. That checking is you going back to, I don't have it yet. Instead, check in with your state. Am I more often feeling like the person who already has it, or like the person still begging for it? The more you rest in the first one, the more your world starts to match it. So, does Neville Goddard actually work? From my own life, the answer is yes, when you actually do what he says and not a watered-down version of it. Now it's your turn to test it. Tonight, before you sleep, put on my guided SATs meditation. I'll walk you through the exact steps so you're not guessing or overthinking. Do it every night for 1 week, and you're going to be shocked at how your mood, your ideas, and the little coincidences in your life start to change. So, tap on that guided meditation on your screen right now, save it, and listen to it tonight in bed.